Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about the F1 2017 Australian Grand Prix. A very, very early race for myself and for Ryan, obviously not being anywhere near Australia. And it was a good, a good race, a good return to the sport, a brand new era of F1. Obviously the tyres are wider, the wings are lower, the rear wing is wider, it's bigger, the cars are faster. 5 seconds faster in Spain. Here, unfortunately, in qualifying, only 1.7 faster, but in the race they were 2.2, almost, well, 2.2 around there. And then they got close to 3 seconds towards the end on lower fuel, because obviously these new F1 cars, they don't use tyre wear too much. And at the end of the race, you can set some very, very quick laps. As we saw Max Verstappen asking his team, what's the fastest lap? Should I go for it? And they said straight up, too quick.
Their reply was too quick. Yeah, great reply from them.
But it was a very good, it was a good race for F1 in general, just because of the dominance that we've had for the last 3 years. But the overtaking is a little bit of a problem, but we'll speak about that in a little bit later on. Because it is Australia in the end of the day, it's not like a track where there's ever really overtaking, but this year it looked a little bit, just a little bit dodgy compared to some other years. But either way, we're going to start off with we're going to go through the results and then speak a little bit about a couple of drivers and the DNFs that happened. There was quite a lot of them, and not because of crashes. Surprisingly, most of these, all of them, were because of mechanical faults. Just because the cars are going, so much faster this year, everything is getting a little bit more torturous, especially the engine. And we had, lots of DNFs. So the race winner, start off with, Ferrari car looked good all pre-season. Rumours of them being the quickest. Hamilton agreed. He said they are the quickest. Sebastian said, no, you're quicker. That's why you're on pole. Blah 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 blah. But in the race, Hamilton did get a great start. Ferrari's got a terrible start. Bottas tried to overtake Kimi, and not Kimi, tried to overtake Vettel, but Vettel kind of held it all together. But they basically cleared off and ditched the rest of the field. It was a little bit surprising. You would expect Bottas and Kimi to maybe follow, being in the same cars. But clearly not. They clearly didn't have too much on the two best drivers on the F1 grid. Obviously, 4 titles for Vettel, 3 titles for Hamilton. But they were a little bit disappointed. But either way, the start of the race was boring.
Turn
1 was chaotic.
Turn 3, we had the incident between Magnussen and Ericsson in the Sauber and the Haas.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate. And one thing that is good about this year, talk about that incident, is the stewards. They will not award penalties anymore for, random small things. They want the drivers to go for aggressive overtakes. Last year that could have been a penalty. This year, they didn't even care. It was as if nothing happened. Ericsson's race obviously got a little bit ruined. So did Magnussen's. He damaged his front wing, and then the suspension wasn't too good.
He had a puncture as well, I believe. I think he come in the pits at the end of lap 1.
Yep, so not too good for Maggie. He did retire towards the end because of a rear left suspension, so maybe that was caused, from the gravel or something of a sort. But
and also good.
Hamilton and Vettel cleared off.
A good thing about this year's cars as well is the bottom of the car isn't beached into the gravel. It's raised up, so you can just get out the gravel easier than normal. You're not like stuck in the gravel, and like that's your race over. And that's why we saw Magnussen and Ericsson carry on with their race. But one guy who did not start the Grand Prix, let's just go back, and Daniel Ricciardo. He started.
Poor Ricky, we forgot about
Ricciardo. He went out there. He had a bit of an issue with the car. He got it back
2 laps
in,
down.
Sorted it, went out 2 laps down. Just had to get it. He just had to get stuck in.
One thing that did surprise me, he went out on the super softs, not the softs. But Red Bull, they do like to go for the more aggressive strategy. Obviously, the super soft, it can go a long way. I mean, some ultra softs went 32 laps because the tyres are so much wider this year. They hardly use any wear. So there's only 1 stop. Maybe not per race, but for this weekend, there was only 1 stop for most people. But his weekend, from the spinning qualifying to the gearbox penalty, then to the car not starting, and then for his engine to turn off. It's not the way you want your home Grand Prix to go, is it?
No, it's not the way.
Not really
it's a bit of a double whammy as well, because my home Grand Prix went well. My start of the season's gone well, gone dodgy. So
not too good. Not too good.
It's a bit of a double blow for him. But back at the front, it was all Lewis Hamilton.
Back at the front,
he struggled at the start, didn't he? He was like, I've got no grip at all. And then eventually, once the fuel load come down a little bit, he was able to pull away, got out of the DRS zone. Vettel got, detached from the DRS zone, and then he just kind of worked it and worked. But he did get forced to pit earlier, didn't he? Just because of dodgy tyres. And
it wasn't actually forced. The Ferrari was very close to Hamilton, and when Hamilton was complaining about grip, it was very surprising for everyone, because the Ferrari was just following him. That's one thing that Ferrari have got a better car for. They can follow without degrading their tyres as much. He was following, then he dropped back him, just doing it. He wanted to. It wasn't like the car was slower. He dropped back, and Hamilton went. The tyres, he was using up quite a bit of grip compared to the Ferrari. Don't know why, don't know how, but it was surprising. He only pit one lap earlier than what he did have scheduled, and he pit because he wanted to, not because of the team said so. They did know they were going to come out in traffic, but they thought probably that Hamilton would overtake, not just follow Max Verstappen. Yeah. But that obviously allowed Vettel to pit. Well, he'd done some very, very fast laps, and then pit, and obviously come out just in front of him. But talk about the overtaking. Hamilton could have gone for that move a couple of times.
Even if he had done
turn one, he could have done it a couple of times.
If we just go back a little bit to the start, Perez on Kvyat, if he had kind of forced an overtake on him, do a bit of a Verstappen on a Verstappen, and just get him out of the way, just so he can, because he's not racing Verstappen. Well, Verstappen's not racing Hamilton because he was quite a way back, but obviously. Yeah. Theoretically he is, because he's a position in front of him, but in the long run he's not. So Hamilton was just wasting time sat behind a driver that he didn't really need to sit behind. And Vettel was like, cheers.
All he needed to do was a Nico Rosberg or Max Verstappen Abu Dhabi, and it would have been fine and dandy. But obviously he didn't go for the move. He was complaining on the radio that he couldn't overtake him. I mean, it is Max Verstappen. He does defend pretty well, but he could have probably gone for the move a couple of times into turn one. We did see some good overtakes from.
Like I said with Perez, Perez was practically on the white line on the inside, and at the time I was like, he's not making that, but he did. Just something like that.
So it isn't rocket science to go for the move, but obviously Hamilton felt like he couldn't do it, so he didn't go for it. And why he was just stuck behind Max, Vettel had already pulled out 2 seconds, almost in the first lap. So Ferrari were very, very fast. Red Bull are not too good at the moment, third best. They will get better, obviously. They started last year pretty much the same. But Ferrari, in that exact moment, Vettel just vanished into oblivion, into the front, setting very, very fast lap times, while Hamilton was still stuck behind Verstappen for quite a while till Verstappen pit. So he would be very annoyed. But in general, I feel like Vettel had the race under control from the start. I mean,
he like Toto and
Lauda said. Like Lauda and Toto Wolff said, it's not like the pit stop that did help him lose the race, but Ferrari were overall just better. Vettel would have, if he had caught Hamilton, he would have gone for the overtake. He wouldn't have just
it's surprising that Ferrari won over pit stop just because of the 2016 strategies, apart from Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, just because
Abu Dhabi was a
they did get a little bit better, Abu Dhabi.
But Ferrari have been known for a bit of a dodgy strategy call. But whilst Vettel were clearing off in oblivion, I just want to go back to what you were just saying there. Kimi Räikkönen was also in a bit of oblivion. He had no one in front of him, no one behind him. He was driving round.
He was all by himself. I'm not too sure what problems Kimi had. But while that was happening, we had a couple DNFs. While all this chaos kind of stuff was going on, we had Stroll have some brake issues. Now he was doing overtakes. It's not like overtakes impossible. He overtook a couple
of
cars.
He overtook 6 cars in the first lap.
Unfortunately, had some brake issues.
Yeah, the great opening lap. A great dive bomb as well up the inside of the both. So was.
Yeah, turn one was very, very, very spooky for him. But he had some brake issues. So not too good, but he should be happy overall with his race. You know, he overtook. He showed that it's not impossible. Even he done overtakes, even not on the opening lap. So it was good from him. We also had Palmer with an anchor issue, I think they called it. Basically, the brake would, I think, basically it would go down but not come back up or something of a sort. So he kept running on and eventually just gave up. And then we also had Grosjean, who I thought his engine had popped, but that's not the case. It was a water leak, and then the water just turned into steam, basically. But that's an easy fix.
Yeah. But it's a shame
that was
something
disappointing.
so small
both Haas
ruined quite a big thing for Haas, because it was going quite well,
because he was in the points.
That happened.
P6 qualifying, very very good for Haas. They overall, they've worked quite a bit in winter. The car looks totally different. The shape, everything, it looks very good. And it looks like a definite points contender, but not too much happened in the race, really, after. I mean, Van Dorn was driving around with a wheel that had the warm-up lap dash. So he was driving blind for a while, and then he went into pits, and then he had to reboot the car. And then he kind of just drove around by himself at the back. Poor guy. Alonso had a little battle. The only other, big thing that happened in this race, really. Ocon, Alonso, and Hulkenberg.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
They all went into the penultimate corner, very close. Ocon tried to go on the outside. He got his nose cut off on the exit, lost a little bit of wing. Then he had Hulkenberg on the grass round the outside on the last corner. And then down the straight, that little McLaren Honda, Alonso says it's the worst car. It just got wrecked in the straight line with DRS. He got destroyed. It was just wrecked.
It had nothing.
Basically.
It had nothing to fight with.
And it was also at that exact moment when Ocon went down the inside. It looked like Hulkenberg was actually going to get both of them at one point, but that was
I was expecting them. I was expecting them all to end up in the gravel.
I thought someone was going to crash. But after that exact moment, pretty much, Alonso retired. He said his car kept steering to the left by itself.
Flat project cars.
Me and Ryan know what that's like. I was about to say that. You just stole that from my mouth. But we know what that feels like on project cars. That your car is just going left or right by itself. So that's not really too good to drive. But I don't see Alonso, making it to the end of the season on this McLaren. They are getting a new engine in 2 months. But
2 months is a long time.
2 months. Quite a lot of races will
You've
pass
lost
by,
a lot of points by then.
He was in the points, obviously. Obviously, after getting overtook by Ocon and Hulkenberg, he wasn't. But he was in the points, so the car can get points, kind of, in a way.
It's just
if he defends better. But
it's just reliability.
It is very, very disappointing. And obviously for Van Dorn also having to reboot the car manually in the pits. That's not, you don't want that. Obviously, in an F1 team, they are the worst F1 team on the grid this year of speed-wise. So it's not too good for McLaren. Not a good way to start. Not a good anything really. I mean, especially not if they want to keep Alonso. I'm gonna guess Button's very happy he left that team when he did, because
definitely.
I don't think he would want to be driving around with the back there. But not too much happened in the race.
Typical
after that
Formula One, really.
Bottas was catching Hamilton very, very quickly. And also Hamilton could get stuck in traffic every now and then. The back markers, they're trying to move out of the way of the leaders, but they want to battle the guy for points that's in front of them too. So Bottas pulled about 5-6 seconds back on Lewis. At one point, he was just outside a second. It looked like it was going to get a race. And then Bottas suddenly dropped back. Now, we don't know if a team radio message come in or anything. They never said. But he did drop back even before catching up to traffic. I mean, it might have just been pace. But he suddenly went from setting some pretty quick laps to going pretty slow. So, not great. I mean, it might have just been pace tyres because he was pushing so hard. Who knows? Maybe traffic kind of in the way. Because obviously, traffic, they want to also battle the people that they're fighting. Some of them even fighting for points. I mean, some cars in the top 10 got lapped. Yeah. So
P7 till P13, they all got lapped. There's only 6 cars that didn't.
Yeah, that is. It's not the best thing in the world. If you think about it. I mean,
it's not
that high up in the top 10.
I mean, well, yeah, okay, you have
left.
57 laps, but still.
Yeah, 57 laps, but still that shouldn't happen. If it was MotoGP and they'd done 57 laps, I don't think they would get lapped. Riders. But either way, it looked like there was a battle going on with Kvyat, Sainz. They switched positions because Kvyat was setting some very good laps to catch up to some further, up the field, Perez and stuff like that. Then he had to pit suddenly because he probably killed the tyres or something. But he come back out still just as fast. And that was really the only other battle, Perez, Kvyat and Sainz. But then again, it wasn't even a battle because they didn't overtake each other once, really. Sainz and Kvyat did switch positions, but there really wasn't too many overtakes. And like Hamilton was saying, it's very hard to overtake on these cars, but at the same time, it's Australia. Last year there was 20 odd overtakes on this track, I think, and then this year there was 16. Most of them are from the pits, but China, Bahrain, if there isn't too many overtakes on those tracks, it might be a little bit of a worry having F1 2017 racing basing off of pits. That's not kind of the most exciting thing to watch in the world compared to some of the very good overtakes and good moments we got last year. But I don't think it's harder to overtake this year, obviously, because you're going so much faster. The car's wider, the wing is further out and stuff like that. But I don't think it's impossible.
No.
We did see some good overtakes. Stroll was overtaken, and he's a rookie.
Exactly.
Ocon tried to go around the outside, and Hulkenberg and Ocon, they went up the inside of Alonso together. So it's not impossible.
If it was impossible
to
overtake, then there would have been at least 3 cars in the gravel at turn 1. But the guys at the back, Stroll and I think it was Palmer and maybe Giovinazzi, or can't quite. It was another car. They went three wide into turn 1. It's quite a madness. It was quite a madness. So
it's good.
It is possible. It is possible. So Sebastian Vettel won the Australian Grand Prix with Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas rounding out the podium positions. Kimi Raikkonen, the Iceman, he finished in 4th ahead of Max Verstappen. And then Felipe Massa, who made his debut back in the sport after his shortest retirement, he finished in P6.
It's as if he never retired because he ended the season and started the next one. So it's not like he really did retire. He just had the same winter break as anyone else, really.
Yeah. Sergio Perez in the pink Force India, he finished in 7th with Carlos Sainz and Kvyat, both Toro Rossos, in 8th and 9th. Esteban Ocon getting the final point and his debut in
his first
Force
point
India
of F1. So first point in F1. Good job from Force India. They don't exactly have the car that they expect, they want. They're getting a better car very, very soon. But having both cars already in the points and not even having a competitive car could be a bit of a worry maybe for some of them, maybe Williams, maybe even Red Bull at the moment when they get a better car. But only other driver that I really want to talk about, and then there is 2, Renault, Hulkenberg. They were speaking about on the presentation getting top 5 in the constructors, maybe a couple of podiums. This car, it is a lot better than last year, but it just missed out on the points. I feel like he will get points obviously in the future, but it doesn't look as good as they kind of had in their brain, in their dreams on that presentation day.
No.
But the only driver that I really want to speak about impressed me, called up on Saturday. He was probably just planning out his weekend, sitting in the cafe, watching the TV, in he's probably Ferrari pit box because he is the Ferrari reserve driver, so he might have been in there. Watched the race, got called into Sauber on Saturday morning, and that is Giovinazzi in the Sauber, finishing P12. So not too bad from the young Italian. He is a star of the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Looking forward to see him in Ferrari one day when Kimi Raikkonen might retire.
Yep.
Or anything. Wehrlein has a problem. He'll be in there. But it was a very good drive. Being called up Saturday, it's kind of not too shabby.
Bad.
I mean,
to get called up on Saturday and then to qualify in 16th, you beat Magnussen, who got the podium here 2014 in the McLaren Mercedes. Peter Stoffel Van Dorn, okay, he's in the McLaren, but he scored McLaren's first point of last year at Bahrain. Lance Stroll in a Williams again. Okay, he's a rookie, but still. Then Palmer, who's had a year experience, obviously he did destroy his car in practice and had kind of just let's just not go there. But yeah, like you say,
good drive from
he
Gio.
He did a good job. He finished the race. What more can you ask?
I feel like Pascal would have done just as good. I mean, Pascal's a very, very good driver, but definitely impressive from Giovinazzi, and it's going to be exciting for when he eventually does get in F1. And we see him fighting the likes of NATO and Sirotki and those kind of drivers in GP2 when they're all in Formula 1. But he is looking good. Not just in Formula 1, you know, that is going to be a confidence booster in anything else he races. You know, to be in I mean, Formula 1 this year also so much faster, so much harder and, you know, physical to drive.
Yeah.
And to be called up on a day when you're not even planning racing in your head and be called into a Formula 1 team and do that is good. It is good. It is positive. But that's basically it. That's all I have to say. And not too much happened in the opening race. It is great to see Ferrari winning again. It has been since 2015 Singapore since we had a win from them. Vettel wasn't, you know, won a race or in all 2016, or Ferrari in general. And to come back straight away with a banging victory and then the fastest lap from Kimi Räikkönen is not too bad at all for the Scuderia.
The first time in, 3 years since it's been a non-Mercedes driver to lead a championship.
Yep.
That's...
And the last one to be doing that was Vettel in his Red Bull. So he's took back that crown after 3 years of, you know, leading the championship. And I feel like he will be a competitor for the entire year. And it's going to be good to see Sebastian Vettel v Hamilton.
Is it a rivalry brewing up? That's the big question at the moment.
I think it is. I mean, Hamilton and Vettel, they have had rivalries, but Vettel's always been in the car that's just a little bit superior, but not so much. But it is a little bit superior. He won 4 seasons in a row. But the Red Bull was nowhere near as dominant as what the Mercedes was. They did win a lot of races, but it wasn't by 30, 40 seconds, and wasn't getting qualifying by a second and stuff like that. Mercedes obviously a stronger car, and then the minute Hamilton's gone and got competition from another team, he's lost straight away. So it's going to be good to see them fight. I mean, Hamilton's used to having one guy compete against him.
Yeah.
Now he's got a brand new team in here, and he's lost straight away. So and he almost got beat by his teammate too. So he's going to be looking to improve a little bit. But it's going to be good to see Vettel v Hamilton. 4 titles v 3 titles. One's looking for a 5th, one's looking for a 4th. They're in the best cars, they're the best drivers on the grid.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be very, cool. Very good.
Italy v Germany. If you remember some Italy v Germany football, those penalties are a bit long. But these drivers are professional. They know what they're doing.
I'm hoping that Vettel wins. Just, I don't like Hamilton.
I'm hoping, we're not a fan of Hamilton here at HMSGP.
I know we can't say that because we're a news channel, we have to support everybody, but I know.
We do, but we prefer Vettel
any
we support every driver on the grid, every rider in MotoGP, everyone in the world. There's not anyone that we don't support, but ultimately we do prefer Vettel.
We support everyone,
and Ferrari in
but
general.
Some drivers or riders they're just a little bit higher up. We like everyone, but like Jamie says, some are just a little bit higher. Like Sebastian Vettel is a little bit higher than Lewis Hamilton. So just a tiny bit, but it is good, and just in general, just see Ferrari winning and Vettel again. It is going to be good. It's going to be a good year for Formula 1, I think. Yeah, definitely.
We're probably going to get some very boring races. We're going to get some good, exciting races, but. That is it for the Australian Grand Prix.
Yep.
Obviously, it wasn't the most exciting thing in the world, but it is the return, and it is on a circuit track. So when we get to some open stuff like China in 2 weeks' time, we will see hopefully more overtakes, and I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of technical issues also in China, just because it's a track that just kills everything. I mean, it's such a fast track, and especially with the new tyres, they're not going to be 1.7 faster in qualifying. They're going to be a lot faster in China and Bahrain. So it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. And we are going to be here for the entire year talking about these races. Hopefully we see, more of these Ferrari wins.
Definitely.
And it is going to be good. Hopefully we'll see Red Bull progress. We are going to be doing videos throughout the week on a couple things in Formula 1 and MotoGP and stuff like that. So there will be playlists down in the description, and follow all the links down here underneath me. Just down here, down here we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram, we've got all sorts of stuff down there. And that is basically it.
That is.
Hopefully you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Subscribe to us, maybe if you want. I mean,
our main personal gaming channels where you can come and watch us play the games the game of the sport that we talk about on this channel. Go click on the links down the description. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and our channels. And hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys very, very soon for what will be probably, like I said in the MotoGP Let's Talk, will probably be a MotoGP based video, and that will be the new teams from Moto3 as I have a fly buzzing in my face. And so that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and goodbye.
Goodbye.